All right, so when you think of living in Fort Lauderdale, what's the first thing that comes to mind? If you said waterfront living, then you're correct, and that's exactly what we're gonna take a look at today. So let's get into some of the most desirable waterfront communities in Fort Lauderdale. Here we go. Welcome to Living Fort Lauderdale, where we make these videos to give you something that I didn't have 5 years ago when I moved down here. And we are realtors in the area, and as much as we love making these videos, we love more to earn your real estate business. So if you're getting any value from these videos, we'd love the opportunity to hear from you and help you in any way that we can. But with that being said, I've been getting a lot of calls and texts lately asking about waterfront living in Fort Lauderdale. And so we're gonna dive into 5 different waterfront communities that we've been recommending to a lot of our clients. And it looks like it's gonna rain out here. It's getting pretty windy. So I'm gonna head back to the office, pull up the map, and let's take a look at this. All right, so we're starting off in the farthest northeast corner of Fort Lauderdale. And our first neighborhood that we're gonna look at is gonna be the Landings. And so I wanted to start off here because lately I've been getting a lot of interest in waterfront properties. And I think this is kind of just a hidden gem that it's a little off the beaten path. Let me just show you. So we are east of US 1. This is US 1 right here. Again, like I mentioned, about as far north in Fort Lauderdale as you can go. This road right here is McNabb, and this is the dividing line between Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach. So you can see how far north we are, especially zooming out compared to downtown Fort Lauderdale. It still is only about a 20-minute drive, but it's just one of those nice tucked away little neighborhoods. And so this is Bayview Drive right here, which splits right through the middle of it. And if you're familiar with my videos, you've heard me talk about Bayview before. It starts up here at Federal Highway and it runs parallel to it, maybe about 6 or 7 miles. Don't quote me on that, but it runs all the way down through Coral Ridge and ends at Sunrise Boulevard. So it's a nice option to not take Federal Highway. And back to the Landings, it's a very pedestrian friendly street. I mean, you don't tend to see a lot of traffic. The road is actually full of speed bumps. It's got bike lanes. And so on the east side of Bayview, we have the Landings. And then on the west side of Bayview is gonna be the Lake Estates. So as you can see, the Landings is on the east side, like I just mentioned. This neighborhood is the Lake Estates. Somewhat similar, but very different, and I'll get to that in a minute. But as you cross the Bayview Bridge right here, Landings is on both sides of Bayview. And so the cool thing about this neighborhood is deep water canals, direct ocean access, and every single home is on the water. And so the difference between the Lake Estates and the Landings is on this side of Bayview, the homes tend to be a little bit older, the canals are a lot smaller, and then once you get into the Landings, you tend to see more new construction, more renovated homes, and like I mentioned, the canals are deep water, and then you're right here to the Intercoastal. And we're actually closer to the Hillsborough Inlet, which is right up here, right next to Lighthouse Point. So it's a straight shot up there, maybe about 20 minutes. And another cool thing is that this neighborhood is golf cart friendly. So you're gonna see a lot of people driving their golf carts down Bayview. And a reason for that is because this is Commercial Boulevard right here, which will take you west to I-95, but you're right here next to the drawbridge, going right into Lauderdale by the Sea. And so Lauderdale by the Sea, if you're not familiar, is a very desirable, very popular small beach town in North Fort Lauderdale. And it's also golf cart friendly. So I'll show you a couple examples of some homes in the Landings. Another thing to just keep in mind is that this southern half of the Landings, where it's on both sides of Bayview, the west side, you are gonna have a fixed bridge. The east side, you don't. So let's take a look at some of these homes. Let's just pick a random street view so you can kind of get a feel for what the homes look like here. So you have your Florida ranch style homes. A lot of character in this neighborhood. Like I mentioned, new construction. People knock down homes, build new construction. This is a very nice neighborhood. It's very quiet, it's very tucked away. And so we've been recommending this neighborhood actually out a lot, just for those reasons that I mentioned about it being kind of tucked away, a little bit of a hidden gem. And you're right there, close to Lauderdale by the sea. So a lot of our clients actually really love that. So moving on to the next neighborhood, you've heard me talk about this one quite a bit, and we are talking about Coral Ridge. And so this is quintessential East Fort Lauderdale, one of the oldest neighborhoods in Fort Lauderdale, and probably one of the most desired just all around for everything. Great access to the highway and to the beach, so you can see where the borders are right here. This is Oakland Park Boulevard, which will take you straight to 95. Or once again, you have the bridge that will take you right to the beach there. And then Bayview, like I said, runs down the middle. And as you get to the south side, you end right here at the Galleria Mall. And that's Sunrise Boulevard, which also will take you straight to the beach. Or if you go west, to 95. It may also be worth noting, I mean, I don't know how important this is, but you also have the only Chick-fil-A in Fort Lauderdale. It's right here in one of these shopping centers, right outside of Federal Highway. And it may not be a big deal to you, but it's worth noting. It's the only one in the city. So again, Coral Ridge, we have Federal Highway to the east, Sunrise to the south, Oakland Park to the north, and then right in the middle, well, kind of more towards the north side, we have Northeast 26th, which runs right into Wilton Manors, down Wilton Drive right here. And then as you can see, that goes right into downtown Fort Lauderdale. So really great access in this neighborhood. And it is one of those few neighborhoods that does maintain the old charming Florida style homes, even though its main focus is waterfront. And you may be looking at it thinking, well, there's not that many canals in it. The whole east side, for the most part, with the exception of this little area right here, the whole east side of Bayview is gonna be canal homes. The west side, for the majority, is gonna be dry lot, except for this river right here. But the thing about this river is I have seen some nice boats on it, and the bridge down here, which is Sunrise, this is a pretty high bridge, so you can get a decent sized boat under that. Now on the north side, this is the Federal Bridge, and in high tide, you'll be lucky if you can get a kayak under that thing. But I have seen some pretty decent boats here. And unlike the landings, one of the cool things is when it comes to these waterfront homes in Coral Ridge, you're not just limited to single family. If we scroll down, you can see that there is a lot of townhomes on here as well. And I mean, you really just have a range of so many different options, from $1 million dry lot home to a $3 million canal home with ocean access to a $15 million intercoastal front home. Not only that, but this neighborhood is also zoned for one of the top elementary schools in the whole area, which is Bayview Elementary. That's gonna be down here. It is also golf cart friendly, which leads me into our next neighborhood, which is gonna be Coral Ridge Country Club, which is just north of Coral Ridge. Now, I'm not gonna have the outline drawn out because, well, I already tried and it doesn't draw the outline of the neighborhood. It just highlights the golf course. But Coral Ridge Country Club right here, Oakland Park Boulevard, Federal on the east, Commercial on the north, and then the Intercoastal on the east. I think I said Federal on the east before. I meant Federal on the west. And then again, Bayview Drive running right down the middle. And so you can see there's a lot of options for waterfront here too, deep water canals. And one of the best things about it is it's home to the only country club in the entire city of Fort Lauderdale. So I know we're talking waterfront here, but if you maybe don't want a waterfront home, I mean, there's very charming country club style homes that are on the west side of Bayview. And so you have options in this neighborhood, but the waterfront homes, let's just pop in here and see what we can find. So these are all homes on canals, straight to the intercoastal, ocean access. And then if I get out of here, just because we're here already, let's take a look at a home on the golf course. So you can kind of just get an overview of what this neighborhood looks like and see how cool it is. So it's very mature, new construction, a lot of older homes. To the left is gonna be homes that are on the golf course. So it just kind of gives you like that country club feel. It's very different from the tropical Fort Lauderdale feel that you would see in the Landings or in Coral Ridge. And part of this neighborhood is zoned for Bayview as well. You also have Cardinal Gibbons, which is a private high school, Bayview Park. You're located right outside Holy Cross Hospital, which is a top hospital in the state of Florida. And again, on the north side, Commercial Boulevard, right to Lauderdale by the Sea. So our next neighborhood, we're actually gonna cross the bridge and go over to the beach side, directly across from Coral Ridge. And we're looking at Dolphin Isles. So you can see this very small, again, kind of tucked away neighborhood. And we're on the east side now. And so you don't really see a ton of single family waterfront homes on the Barrier Island unless you're in neighborhoods like Harbor Beach, where we're talking multi-millions of dollars. But this is a really good location. Deep, wide canals, really good views. I mean, look at how wide these canals are compared to some of these. And the location overall is just what makes it really popular. So you have Oakland Park here and the Galt Ocean Mile, which is this strip of condos up here. There's a ton of restaurants, ton of dining, shopping options. And then right down A1A, which is the main road that runs on the Barrier Island, Ocean Boulevard, Ocean Ave, depending on where you are, that'll take you straight down into Fort Lauderdale Beach. So this could be a good area if somebody's looking for a vacation rental. Obviously no fixed bridges because we just have these small canals right here. And let's just pop in on one of these cul-de-sacs and see what we got. You can see the style of homes here. A lot of Mediterranean style. You will see some new construction every now and then. And then of course, part of it is dry lot too. And so for our next neighborhood, we're actually moving out of Fort Lauderdale and we're gonna go into Pompano Beach. So we're here at Lake Santa Barbara Shores, whatever you wanna call it. It does not draw the outline, but it's basically all these canal streets right here and then this right here. But the main thing that I wanna showcase is the lake, because this is actually one of the few areas in South Florida where you can find open lake views like this and have direct ocean access. So we're about as far south in Pompano as you can go. I showed you before, this is McNabb right here. So this is the border of Fort Lauderdale and Pompano. Really coveted neighborhood, tucked away east of US 1. What's cool about this is that there's a lot of marine shops around here and boat dealers. So it's a very boating friendly community, as you can see, just by looking at the map view. A lot of boats out in the water. And with this, you're actually located really close to Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. With the Pompano Fishing Pier, this whole area was redeveloped and they're continuing to work on it. You're definitely closer to the Hillsborough Inlet, which is right up here. As you can see, much closer than the other neighborhoods. But for a lot of our clients that have been reaching out to us lately, we find ourselves recommending this neighborhood more and more just because of value and bang for your buck. It's, like I said, Pompano's up and coming. So, I mean, look at these homes here. So you can see some of them still kept in the original condition, but it's a really nice neighborhood. You wouldn't know you're not in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, you're close enough to still think you are, but main attraction, it's gonna be that lake. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of liking these open lake views, but either way, something you gotta remember is that there's over 300 miles of waterways in the Fort Lauderdale metro area, with over 150 of them alone being in the city of Fort Lauderdale. So we're basically just scratching the surface. So if you got value from this video, we'd love the opportunity to hear from you. Feel free to reach out at any time. We'd love to help you in any way that we can. In the meantime, you should probably check this video out if you haven't seen it already. It's a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.